Olly, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. What are the big themes affecting Africa that are being discussed?
Well, you mentioned that idea around vaccine patent waivers, and there's been some support for Cyril Ramaphosa already here in Cornwall, with the French President Emmanuel Macron saying that he backs that idea. The difficulty is that there are several other G7 nations that don't. Nonetheless, vaccines in other ways are going to be supplied by the G7 in greater numbers than before, with a pledge of around 1 billion doses coming out of this summit that are going to go to parts of the world that need it the most. For example, 100 million doses from the UK alone, and millions of those doses will start being rolled out in the coming weeks. Nonetheless, those African countries that need those doses of vaccines will be looking on and wondering exactly how quickly that billion-dose pledge is going to get into arms on the continent, because it's actually spread out across the next year or so that we're going to see those doses moving, and the World Health Organization has been warning that actually you need far more than 1 billion doses of vaccines heading towards parts of the world that don't currently have enough doses if the world is going to move beyond this pandemic.
Yeah, you're right to mention the key issue being urgency and timing. So is nobody specifically addressing that issue in terms of the distribution of these vaccines to Africa? Is it just broadly a commitment that we should get more, but not really a timeline around that?
Well, there's a bit of a timeline, and that's the difficulty. As I say, the UK committing that millions of doses will go out by September, and then the rest of them over the course of the next 12 months. The United States pledge obviously involves buying new doses off Pfizer and then distributing them. So they have to be produced in the first place and also then allocated around the world. So there certainly is a time lag that we have here as a difficulty. And also the G7 nations are still vaccinating their own populations and want to make sure that they don't see disruptions domestically. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, for example, is saying that the surplus doses that will go out won't affect the UK vaccination rollout. And the UK, just to take this particular example, is currently involved in a major race against the spread of the Delta India-discovered variant and wants to get as many jabs into as many arms here as possible. So all of that affects how quickly exactly these pledged vaccines are indeed going to get to the places around the world that need them so urgently.
Sadly, Olly, we've run out of time. I wanted to speak to you more about the IP waiver, but that will have to be next time around. Thanks for keeping an ear out for what's happening in Cornwall for us.